Alright, hello guys. All two of you guys. Hello, hello. Whoever you are. Or three. There might be more coming. Anyways, we've changed the plane again. This time we've gone full retro. That's not too unusual though, because last time around I believe we were flying 777s with old liveries. Those don't really exist anymore, so I might as well just go all the way back to the 1980s, you know? Hello, super swag and warplane. What's up? Alright, let's get this started. I decided to put my tea into a bottle this time. And I think I got the milk portion out of whack. This is a Boeing 727-200. And I believe this is with the old traditional JT-8D-7s. This isn't even the advanced version, by the way. This is the old original 727. And I guess the only way I can get even more original is if it was a 100. Hello, Mercedes. And that aviation guy. Hello, hello. Okay, if I remember correctly, the wind is coming from the south, so I need to turn to the right. And don't mind all of these taxiway glitches. That's what FSX can do for you. Alright. I actually do not know how many degrees of flaps do I need on this thing. We'll do 15 degrees, how about that? And if I remember correctly... Oh no, I can trim this thing. That's good. First time I've actually got a trim in the virtual cockpit in a while. Alright, here we go. Unfortunately, the sounds of the cockpit are kinda quiet for some reason. That's alright though. It sounds great from the outside though, but not quite so much from the inside. Hello, Portland Aviation. Welcome back. Two minutes late. Miss K. I was making tea, and I was nearly late. Or maybe I was. I think I was like a minute or two late. Maybe that's what the 2-minute late was about. Also, I happened to rush my tea making process, and I think I got the milk and tea out of whack. Yes, we are at Kansai right now. And we are flying to... Oh crap, I forgot the name of it. And I forgot to write it down this time. I'll have to look at the map this time because this plane does not have GPS. So, i.e., I'm gonna have to check on the map every once in a while to make sure we are still on course. Possibly. I'll have to double check on that. Maybe this plane is able to follow a flight course. I do not entirely know yet. Once again, I have not actually checked the... I have not checked the autopilot in its entirety. Engines are very responsive on this plane. So how's everybody's day been going? It's been about 2 weeks now. It has been 2 weeks actually. Yep, back to the basics. Just getting the VORs. Or just like fly the approximate heading. Flying like old 1950s aviators. Did they have VORs back then? I'm curious. When were VORs invented? Hey dog. D-dog or dog? Do I work? Yes, I do. At least for now. I work in the construction engineering industry. I'm one of the fortunate ones who still have a job at this point. Although I can't say that's gonna be for long or not. We will have to see. Business does tend to be a bit tighter around this year, this time, I guess. I never knew they had a helicopter pad right here. Huh, interesting. Okay, I don't think we need full length. I just want to taxi right up to 24 left in real life, by the way. They actually have 24 right now. One thing I should mention is that I do not believe we have the autopilot allows like the climb rate in this. I can only hold the altitude. I can't actually set the altitude and have the plane climb all the way up to where I want. I don't see any planes out there. Taxi on. Am I gonna get Flight Sim 2020? Maybe. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. And if it looks great, yeah, I might get it. Interesting thing is that I think it's the same exact price as X-Plane 11, isn't it? Alright. Let me see, what else? What else do I need to do? Autopilot, turn left, autopilot on. Heading hold, altitude hold. I should probably set up the 2D cockpit because there are a few buttons as usual that I cannot press. Such as this one right here. And there's only one ILS that will be working, by the way. For all, I think we're flying to like 3 airports today. That means I believe the last airport we're flying to, which is Chiang Kai-shek or Taoyuan Airport, is the only one with working ILS. Let me read the comments one last time before we go. Oh yeah. British have had their 747s for a while. Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, wish you well with the Fly Away music video. Good thing about Fly Away is that it's copyright free, so you don't have to worry about getting your channel blocked, like taken down or something. Alright. Here we go. I'm gonna be very busy during the climb, by the way. Oh, you know what? I'll read a few more comments. This is gonna be on Xbox Game. Oh, Game Pass, I see. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see what it looks like. There is no way to tell so far. It could all just be clickbaity videos for now. Yeah, dude, guys, I encourage everyone to make music videos. That's kind of the whole point why I created like music and videos, and the fact that I've created those like copyright free or rather Creative Commons airplane videos, so that people have something to use if they want, or if they have something else they want to use or something better, that's absolutely fine. Alright, here we go. Alright, one thing I just realized, I hope I trimmed the plane correctly. Oh, I'm not sure if I finished my thought, but I'm going to be quite busy during the climb because there is no altitude hold. Well, there's altitude hold on this plane, but I cannot set the vertical speed on this thing. Yeah. Check that out. It looks like the plane just trimmed just fine. Wait, I can only get FS 2020 on platform Xbox? Okay, yeah, that's a big problem. Rest in peace. Okay, now here's a question. There's no GPS on this thing, or maps of any sort, so I'm actually gonna have to look on the map itself, physically. It means pausing the game ever so often. Okay, that's good. We're already on course. Okay, what's our first destination? Let me double check. Okay. Huh, RGFK. And of course they have the name completely blocked by... This is where we're going. Kagoshima? Is that... Hopefully that's the right way of pronouncing it. Okay, so we just need to fly straight. In that sense, we might be able to just turn on our, nav. Hopefully that works. Does that set? Nope, that does not set it correctly. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on. Nope, nope, nope. Don't do this to me. Autopilot off. Okay, well that's fun. So I guess I'm gonna have to just turn to the appropriate heading and just fly like that. That's fun. Nope, that is not right. That's not the right setting. Yeah, I don't mind the fact that we're all on this plane together, and here I am just messing around with the autopilot. Come on, please don't. Please follow the flight path. I am slightly struggling, yes, that is the right terminology. Let me trim this out correctly. I think we're on path now, are we? Seems like the plane's turning towards where we're supposed to be going. Yeah, I think so. Sort of. Yes, no, maybe. Anyways, I guess we'll just keep climbing for now. Now, there's no altitude hold in here other than one simple altitude hold button. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna have to trim the plane properly and set the power setting, I guess. There is an auto throttle on there, but it only holds, I believe it holds the speed. Okay, I guess that's useful enough for me here. There we go. We figured something out. Okay, are we still following the path? I just see the plane turning to the left a lot, and now turning back to the right. I'm a little too aggressive with the vertical speed. If we don't mind about the chaos going inside the cockpit, actually it looks quite beautiful. Alright. Well, I think we got that figured out. How have you guys been doing? There's a bug on this? Yeah. I think the throttle is trying to follow that at the moment. I got the auto throttle set now, and it should be trying to follow that 300 knots indication right there. There's two bugs actually. One at 340-ish. Wonder what that one is for. But yeah, the auto throttle follows that yellow bug right there. It's trying at least. I think I'm climbing a bit too aggressively for that. Whoa, okay. Come on. I'm trimming nose down and it's going nose up. Down. Oh, whoops, I'm trimming the wrong way, of course. Come on, don't do this. Whoop. Oh, okay. Looks like it wasn't holding the heading. I guess I'm just gonna have to rely on the heading to be held. How am I doing in terms of heading? I should probably just remember like the heading that we're supposed to be going at and go with that. Hmm. Fasten some seatbelts. We're about to do some maneuvers. I do not believe the flight director is on properly. Oh man. I got the heading dialed in. I believe we should be flying the right heading now. Let me take a look. I think, okay, a little bit to the left. Maybe like 245 heading. Oh gosh. Vertical speed is going crazy again. Just jumping back between chat and map and all this. I should probably level off at some altitude, maybe 33,000 feet. Let's climb a little higher to get to 33. Actually, I should probably be at 34 to be honest. Even numbers for flying west. Yeah, it seems to be... So, yeah, right now it's following the heading. And right now it's at like 245 about. You want to be a moderator? Well, I don't believe I'll need one yet, but thanks for the offer. Hello, Epic Chicken. How was your day? Oh yeah, there's a slight delay between when I actually see the comments and when I reply. Literally in the sense that sometimes I see the comments and then think about it a little bit. Ooh boy, vertical speed watching that thing. Whoopsie, whoops. We're dropping. This thing is very sensitive, by the way. Ugh. Oy. Fortunately, because we were climbing like crazy, we actually made it to 36,000 feet so quickly. We were climbing that quickly because I was messing around with everything, not watching the vertical speed. So that's fun. Okay, so once we hit 36,000, then you activate that altitude hold. Oh, and we just passed it. Come on. Yeah, I don't mind the plane like slightly bumping around a little bit. Come on, altitude hold. Get there, get there. Oh, I think altitude hold is doing its thing now. Nice. It's working. Okay. Altitude is set. Heading is set. And let's just make sure we're flying the right heading. Yes, we are. That's good. I do not know how far away from the destination we are, but whatever. Isn't that beautiful? Alright. Yes, that is right. Taipei's airport is now Taoyuan, not Chiang Kai-shek. Flight sim is still Chiang Kai-shek, but yes, it is now Taoyuan. Chiang Kai-shek was a slightly controversial figure, especially in Taiwan. Well, they just wanted to change the name. Hello, hair. Did I already say that? I forgot. No, this is not P3D. Sorry. I do not have that kind of money. By the way, this is the TDS 727. So it's all freeware. You guys can download it if you like. It does take a little bit of fidgeting though. I'm getting used to. How fast am I going, by the way? I'm curious. I believe I'm flying at the right airspeed. Oh, right, this is indicated airspeed. Not actual knots. But I think I'm flying at the appropriate, like, 400 knots ground speed, 4,500 knots ground speed. Judging by how the plane is pitched at the moment. You know, I was actually thinking, did ANA, like, take inspiration from Pan Am for this livery? I do notice the cheat line is roughly in position of where Pan Am's cheat line would be. And also the silver bottom. The main thing that's different is, like, that top stripe on the very top of the plane. And the tail, of course. And the title, of course. It is a very good looking plane though. Huh, pretty. Now let me just figure out where to actually start descending. Okay. So once we actually get to about this point, kind of when we're a beam of NHT, whichever airport that is, we'll start descending. By the way, is the audio too loud? I know my voice can sometimes be a little bit on the loud side, because I naturally have a soft voice, so I may crank it up. Yeah. Oh, sorta. I guess they changed it a few times in antiquity, but I guess that doesn't really count. Some airlines are just ahead of time with delivery, you know? If I remember correctly, I think Korean Air is the airline with the oldest livery now, continuous running livery. They've had theirs since like 1980 something. Whenever Korean 003 was shot down, I believe they decided to change their new livery. And it turned out to be beautiful. So beautiful, in fact, that it lasts to this day. Okay, third person is a bit loud. That's kind of the problem. The outside is way louder than the inside for obvious reasons, but I think the inside is a bit too quiet. Like, I actually can't really hear the engine spool up in here. 006. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I get it mixed up with like another stricken 747 flight. Was it British Airways 006 I'm also thinking about? The one that flew into the volcano cloud. Speed bird. No, I'm just remembering stuff wrong. Never mind. Scratch all that. Hello, Life of Chris. How you doing? Welcome to our retro flight. Our all 9 of you guys. By the way, this plane does have the old JT-AD-7s. I believe they're the original engines for the 727. The newer ones, the -17s, I believe sound a little bit different. Good. Nice. Hey, I hope you are doing good, wherever you are. Oh yeah, that time when the Soviets shot down the 707 as well. Somehow it landed. Yeah, I don't know how they managed to do that. I guess it was like the 707s actually use like control cables, so it's not like when they have half of a wing gone, they would just bleed out all their hydraulic systems. Are we still on course? Are we still on course? We sort of are. Okay, we're about halfway there now. That's good. Can I do a DC-3 next? That would take extremely long, but I might do a DC-3 eventually, don't worry. There's still plenty of time. Depending on how long this series goes on for. What plane am I using? 727-200. I do notice, am I supposed to like put all the information, like flight information and airplane type in the description or something? I do see a lot of people usually doing that, so that's why I was curious. Oh, and by the way, this is just a standard 200. This is not the advanced. Oh yeah. Oh, hello, Maria. Hello, hello. Oh, I see. This is a TDS 727. Freeware stuff. Is Project Fly free? If it is, then yes. If not, then I'll have to think. It better be free. It sounds like something that's slightly on the payware side. I'll take a look at that later. Oh yeah, there is a TriStar, by the way. I have seen that, and I actually have it downloaded. Problem is, that thing is even harder to fly than this thing. And once again, I have not figured out like autopilot for that thing. That's a real expense of going back in time, really. With modern planes, like, we can kind of figure out how the autopilot works. Not so much with the ancient stuff. Although, to be honest, I think the autopilot system here is far more understandable. It's just all the controls are a bit weird. Okay, we're getting there. I have to be the navigator as well, apparently. I missed a whole bunch of comments. ENA1. Yes. I'm in confusion with the airplane. The cockpit. It is a very unconventional system, but that's because it's back from the 1960s. Autopilot worked different back then. It's okay. It's just a pain when modern day people have to fly it. Am I getting FS 2020? Maybe. We'll see. Is this wind or is my rudder doing weird things again? Oh, I see. Even old planes have LNAV? Okay. Or that navigational stuff, but whatever you guys call it. VNAV. LNAV and VNAV. They may have been modified to add it later. I've definitely seen more modern cockpits on 727s. Concorde? One day, maybe. There is a Concorde add-on. I have noticed that. I might do that for one of the transatlantic flights. Or a flight that we just have to get by quickly. If we decide to fly from the US mainland to Hawaii, that's a good candidate for Concorde. Whoa, come on. What's the wind doing? Yep, kind of like a mod for retro planes. I believe if I downloaded like well, actually no, I take that back. I was gonna say if I downloaded like a newer virtual cockpit, it should have everything, but I do not recall seeing that. I believe there's only one type of virtual cockpit that fits for this TDS series. That's okay though, you know, we'll just figure it out. I should fly the MD-80 next. If there is an MD-80 with virtual cockpit for FSX, then yes. And it also has to be free too. That's the main drawback. There are a lot of cool things in the payware world, but, you know, it's payware. Oh, yep. Yes. When I'm taxiing, I have to just hold the rudder slightly to the right. Slightly. I don't know, maybe it's just a joystick manufacturer conspiracy. Trying to get people to buy new joystick. just to make sure people don't hang on to their joysticks for like 13 years, kind of like what I did. Oh yeah, I have seen a 757 freeware. The only issue is I don't think I've seen it merge with a 757 virtual cockpit. I've seen it merge with a 777 virtual cockpit, but that's going to be a bit weird. Okay, I think it's about time for me to descend, isn't it? And once again, when I start descending, I'm going to have to descend. Whoa, why is my heading screwed up? I thought I set the heading to 246. Oh well, whatever. Can I just turn this thing back a little, you know? There we go. That should work. It's almost time to descend. Once I'm back on open land, that's when I'm going to start descending. That's right, if I do a fighter jet, you guys will just have to hold on to the wing. No, we can cram ourselves into the bubble canopy. I'm sure that works in real life. Or how about this? We can fly a jet fighter and tow like a Piper Cub for everybody else to fly on. I think that'll work perfectly. It's like a payware plane that went on sale for free. I know there are some free Captain Sim stuff, like the I think DC-10 and the L-1011 is free. And I actually downloaded the Captain Sim L-1011. It's just that I have to fix some problems with it. Apparently the wheel texture got messed up or something, so there's like white bits rolling around. I have to fix that. That's kind of what happens when we download third-party liveries, right? Just Flight 757. There is something free on there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's probably the Just Flight 757 then. Hello, Airbus 737. That seems a little contradictory, but it's fine. A300. Oh yes, I have that, by the way. But there's just some wonky stuff with the A300, so can't really fly it yet. And also something about Captain Sims, like DC-10, L-1011, and A300. I think the engine modeling, something went wrong with it, I'd say. The engines on those planes seem a little more rounded than they really should be. And that kind of bothers me. But we'll see. Maybe there's going to be an update. Maybe not. We'll just take a look. Okay, is it time to descend now? And just for all you new guys who are like just joining, there is no GPS or any of that indicator in the cockpit, so I'm just gonna have to do things the old-fashioned way and actually look at the map to see where we are. Or maybe I could have just set VOR to VOR. That's probably the smarter way of doing things, to be honest. Okay, let's try and reduce our airspeed. Whoa, dear. Throttles are very sensitive on this plane. And let us start descending. Actually, no, let's keep the autopilot on and then just turn off the altitude hold. That'll be a better idea. Turn off the heading hold later. The problem is we're gonna have to keep trimming the plane as we go. Oops, ship, wrong way. I have to remember negative is actually nose down for this trim. Whoa, you're descending too quickly. No, now that I think of it, maybe it was a bad idea to choose a 727. Not that I can't fly it, but because it requires way more attention to fly. And that means I can't actually see the comments. I will do an A320 at some point. I can't say when, but I do have planned out for what my next flight is going to be. But an A320 will be coming up eventually. I'll tell you that for sure. So just hang in tight. We'll get there. And A320 is like an obvious choice as well, because we actually have a default virtual cockpit that works, and that merges perfectly with all the add-ons 720s, not 720s, some A320s. Yes, there will be nice altitude callouts. It will also call out retard. And while we're on that subject, there's no altitude callout on this plane. I just want to point that out. There is no radar, like radar altimeter. So I do not actually know how close to the ground we actually are once we're actually like close to the runway. So yes, that aviation guy, you're absolutely right. We're just gonna have to brace for landing whenever that happens. Yes, everybody's been telling me to get X-Plane, and I guess I've always said I'll be thinking about it. But FS 2020 is right around the corner as well, so I'm gonna have to see about that first. And I know that's like a few months away, but that's okay. By the way, I do want to say this plane holds the airspeed really well, even with auto throttle off, which is very impressive. I guess this plane was designed to actually be kind of easy to fly, because there's no such thing as fly-by-wire or all these fancy electronics that modern planes have. Kind of makes sense actually, now that I think of it. Back when planes were a lot more manual, you kind of want them to be easy to fly. I already have enough on my hands. Ew, 737 MAX. Here's the question: does the MAX use the same cockpit as the NG? I'm actually curious. If I recall, I think there is some slight difference between the MAX and NG cockpit. Kind of like how there's a slight difference between the standard 747-400 cockpit and the Dash 8 cockpit. Dash 8's got like a few more little LCD screens. Oh, I'm just... you know what? I don't care that I'm descending too quickly. Probably I'll need that. Airspeed is increasing for some reason. Do I have to like go down to idle? Probably. How am I doing in terms of heading? Okay, we really need to descend quickly. Yeah, I'm just gonna idle, and maybe even pull out the spoilers. I wonder how they do 100% deployed. I haven't seen that yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. 6,000 feet per minute. That's more like it. Okay, let's not go that crazy. Actually, maybe 30%. There we go. We don't want to spill the drinks and spill the mochis, I guess. Oh, so they do. There is a. They are slightly different, I guess. Huh. Is the max add-on freeware or not? Why is there an ad? Oh, are they? They're probably kind of annoying, are they? I should probably turn them off. I'll do that next time. I wish YouTube was a little less aggressive with all the ad stuff. I wish like I actually had controls of like how to control the ad settings. Right now, I believe they're putting an ad up every like few minutes or something, and that is annoying. If I had the controls, I would have just told them to like play one ad at the beginning and that's it. I don't think I have those controls though. Or maybe I do. I'll take a look. Freeware? Nice. I missed a whole bunch of comments. Okay, we're getting through 17,000 now. Yes, in-flight ads. Every few minutes, your Frozen movie is gonna have an ad pop up. Not that there's IFE on this plane anyways. Now I'm just curious, I'm not flying into a mountain, am I? Okay, I see. And because I don't have an ILS on this thing, there's no ILS at this airport, sorry. I have to visually identify where the airport is. Okay, let's crank this back to 30% into the arm position. There we go. And turn off that heading. In the real world, I think this plane actually does have like an ILS pointing both ways, but I don't think Flight Sim properly added that in. But yeah, anyways, like I think I missed a whole bunch of comments up there. I think you guys were talking about the whatchamacallit, Max cockpit. If there's a Max cockpit freeware, then yeah, I might do a Max eventually. And if I crash in a Max, I at least have an excuse. Crossing through 10,000 now. That's good. Now let me actually take a look at and see what kind of runway heading we're dealing with. Okay, 1.6. And we have 3,000 meters to play with. Or 9,800-ish. Whoop. Got a kick from the wind. Whoa. How is it like getting wind shear all the way up here? Let me engage the auto throttle for a second. Whoops. Up. Descent. Slow down that descent. I need to figure out what heading that I'm supposed to be flying on. I think 330, is it? I'm just speaking out loud without actually thinking much. 34. Actually, I don't think we actually need to turn that heading, because we have a wide enough loop anyways. Yes, FMC, yeah. Feel fortunate when you actually have one. That's right. I'm in a world of pain right now. Hello, Eric. How's your day? Okay, we're finally breaking through the clouds at 6,000 feet. By the way, guys, what's the key to actually make this seat a little bit higher? Because I think right now, let me move my camera a little bit. I realize it's not centered on my face. What's the key to actually move the seat a little higher? The shift something, I forgot. And I see the airport. Cool. Let me slow this thing down. Flaps 1. Huh, interesting. They put 1 extra feet of runway, just make it big as an area. Okay, let me just double check that is the right airport. I do not want to... Okay, that is the only airport around here, so that has to be it. I probably shouldn't be deploying my landing gears at 250 knots. Whoops. Oh, one thing, I just realized we do have a radio altimeter. So let's see how well it works. I've flown this plane like a few times, and I kind of forgot whether the altimeter actually works. Oh crap, we did not turn enough. Control Shift Enter. That moves me to the right actually. This is FSX, by the way. I'm kind of occupied at the moment, so I can't really read the comments. Okay, there's a problem. Okay, I'm gonna actually have to figure this out. What is moving the seat in virtual cockpit? But thank you, Portland. That did move my seat to some degree, and I do remember it was Control Shift something. Moving seat in FSX VC. Control Shift. That's not right. Control Shift backspace. Oh, whoops. That's the wrong key. Nope, that's not it. Control shift up. No. Oh man. Control enter. Oh, it's just shift enter, I see. There we go. Alright. So the good thing is, at least we have pappy lights, I believe. Hey, there we go. We've gotten low enough to actually have wind shear now. Another great thing about this plane, it does not call out wind shear. So, if we stall into the ground, that's why. Okay, it seems like the radio altimeter is alive now. That's good. What's my flap setting now? I'm curious. Oh, jeez. Airspeed. What's my flap setting right now? I think... Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna keep this. I believe this flaps 30. And we wouldn't want full flaps on such a windy day. Oh, did I really deploy flaps 40? Yeah, we did. Oh well, whatever. Too late to fix that. Get that. I need that vertical speed to look right. Keep bouncing around. Whoop. Maybe I just need to keep the plane nose down, really. It's somewhere close to 140 knots. By the way, one problem about flying manual for so long, I already feel exhausted. So I'm not going to be in tip-top shape when we actually touch down. If we can consider it touchdown. I've literally been flying like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times the amount of time that I usually fly, just by not having a modern day autopilot. That's 200 feet. I have 100. Whoa, dear, come on. Hey! Oh, that's a bounce. Okay. Yeah, that didn't end up too bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't too bad. Whew. Okay. Let's turn off the taxiway. Taxiway 4 or Tango 4. So that was fun. We landed in wind shear conditions with full flaps. And we somehow did not die. Alright, let's see how we did. We can look from this view, that's fine. Oh, I forgot to call out brace. I'm sorry. I think your video might be a little bit delayed. You may want to try and refresh. Oh, never mind. I think maybe you're good. Yep, that looks like a pretty standard 727 landing. Not exactly well polished. Should we just take a look from the cockpit view, I guess, to see what the vertical speed looked like during that whole time. I think 70 seconds would work. So just keep track of the radial altimeter and the vertical speed. Okay, so that was like maybe a 300 feet per minute landing. That's not too bad, I guess. Once again, it was not too bad, but it was not great either. Just an average landing. That wind was probably due to bounce. We'll just go with that. I'm happy with that conclusion. Okay. Now, how are we doing with fuel? 70%, 13. Okay, we should have enough fuel to fly to our next destination, and that's Okinawa. Alright, clean up the wing a little bit. Actually, we have enough to Okinawa, right? I sure hope so. So don't mind about this, we're just gonna be taxiing for a few minutes. I don't think we even used up half the runway, did we? That seemed like a very short landing. Yeah, wow. Tango 4, wherever that taxiway is supposed to be, that's what we turned off. And maybe I can back calculate to see how much runway we actually used. Is it turning nighttime? Feels a little bit bluish. Even though the shadow suggests this is probably the afternoon or something. Ooh, starting a series about like little airlines and stuff. Is Hong Kong Oasis little? Do they have to be around, or can they be like gone bankrupt and stuff? There's this one airline called West Coast Airways or West Coast Airlines. They used to fly in and out of Pacific Northwest. They got bankrupt a long time ago. The reason why I know West Coast is because I believe they were involved in the very first DC-9 accident. And that DC-9 actually crashed like not too far away from Mount Hood. And is still there to this day. The wreckage is still there. So if somebody's adventurous enough and not afraid of like getting their legs cut from jagged metal and whatnot, they can actually visit the crash site. I believe it's on Berry Mountain or something like that. Okay, let me take a look real quick. Flap setting. 15 is good. Autopilot. Oh, I never turned off autopilot. Heh. And let's take a look at the map. See what heading we should be pointing at. Hmm. 200 roughly. Okay. We'll taxi on and do our best. This is going to be the most exhaustive flight by the end of this, however it ends. Good thing you guys are around. Makes my day a little bit better. Why is there a wheel well button on here? Curious what that does. Whoop. I see comments in the chat and I can't reply to them. Slightly occupied. Oop. Touched down again. Huh. Whoa dear. Airspeed. This is a 727-200 ENA old livery ITDS. Well, airspeed. What was the heading? About 200? We'll see whether that's right. Already have some ideas. Yeah, there's probably like a billion small airlines you can go with. And you should go with those. Yes, you are correct. It is a 727. And yeah, thank you, Takeoff Aviation. Portland's been on the news a lot recently. And if anybody lives kind of close to downtown, just be careful. May want to actually stay at somebody else's place if you're close to where all the action is taking place. I actually don't believe it's close to like residential area or like residential high rises or whatnots. They're usually taking place around the courthouse and whatnot. That's where all the federal agents are. Am I on the heading? Let's actually double check that. Okay, so about 210 is the right heading we're supposed to be flying at. Well, I am braking land airspeed. Oh, I should turn on auto throttle, you know. That would be a good idea. And I should retract all my flaps. Shouldn't be flying with stuff sticking out at 250 knots. Okay, engage auto throttle. There we go, it's doing its thing. Whoa, dear. Let's turn on the autopilot and have a heading hold. Because I believe this is the right heading now. Where are you taking? Oh, right, I need to set the heading correctly. It doesn't just hold the heading. There we go. And I will keep track of the altitude. They're acting like they're basically in Somalia. That is correct. It's only a few blocks, yes. It's not really completely crazy. It just looks terrible on the news. That's the problem. This is kind of a similar situation of what happened in Hong Kong. It wasn't the entire city that was in flames. It's just a few blocks that are occasionally broken and stuff. And one thing interesting is I haven't seen any like YouTube live streams of these protests going on in Portland. Nobody bothered to do that. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, whenever there's like a fight, whenever there's a protest, riot or whatnot, it's always live streamed. Usually Apple Daily or Epoch Times or sometimes even CNN would do a live stream of it. And I just haven't seen that with Portland for some reason. Climbing through 12,000 now. I should probably trim the plane so that's a little less difficult for me. Yeah, don't mind me just looking at the gauges for now. I gotta keep the trim in line. Basically, I think the best idea for me right now is to just keep the trim going and keep my hands off the joystick. Just flying with the trim for now. I already got the heading and airspeed dialed in after all. It's just pitch that I need to control. Oh, there's a whole encampment in the park next to courthouse. Are you sure that's not like what they usually do though? Usually in that park there's like people sitting there, regardless of whether there's a protest. I imagine what you're saying is that there's a lot more now. And yeah, I can probably see that. You guys, oh, okay, I missed a whole bunch of comments by the way, but I see Takeoff Aviation talk about National 757 and a C5. That is really epic, yeah. I'd be so excited to see that in Portland. Is it like a C5M or a C5A? I believe well, I guess it has to be a C5M. I don't think the A's exist anymore. The A's are now the M's. Nose down slightly. And let me just double check to see that we're flying the right heading. I think we are. That's good. Nice, David, you got FSX too. See, I'm not the only one. It seems like everybody else has switched over to like, whatchamacallit, P3D or X-Plane 11. And here I am with FSX. Good old traditional FSX. The game that is so poorly optimized that my CPU is overheating constantly. That's what the beeping you hear in the background is about. That's just my CPU overheating. No big deal. Let me increase my airspeed now, actually. Whoops, nope, not that much power. I'm going to push the nose down slightly so that I get to 300 knots. There we go, 300 knots. And now I'm back to controlling the pitch. Yeah, C5M, that sounds about right. Oh, here's a question about the Portland stuff. We're just jumping back and forth now. Yeah, okay, I'll ask... yeah, it is an R5 3600. That's right, and is overheating. That's the beauty of FSX. It's just capable of roasting any kind of CPU. Oops, trimming the wrong way, sorry. Oh, anyways, back to Portland. Did they actually take away the fences now? Because I heard, like, the Portland government, the city government is put, like, an order to get rid of those fences. Their reasoning, of course, is that it's blocking bike lanes. But we all know that there's kind of a skirmish between Portland City and the federal government itself. It's gonna be interesting to see how this struggle turns out. That's right. It looks like it's from PS2, and it runs like a toaster regardless of how good your computer is. That is exactly right. It is like the communism of games. Whoever runs this game is gonna be equally crappy. Oh, whoa, what's going on with my pitch? Get down, down. Sorry about that slight bump. I think I may have accidentally turned the trim all the way to, whatchamacallit, all the way to nose up rather than nose down. Right now I think we're at nose down at 0.7 degrees. Yeah, 0.7. Might turn up to 0.8 just for a second because I see vertical speed dropping off. 1 degree. Whoa. Come on. Behave. Yeah, I kind of lost my balance for a second. Whoop. Come on. Get back up. We are at... You know what? Maybe I should just hold my altitude now. We're at 30,000 feet. I think that's high enough. What's going on? The plane all of a sudden, like, wants to nose down. And slap on the altitude hold. So the courthouse is still fenced off as of 2 days ago. I see. I believe the order to remove the fence was only from yesterday or something. It's not too long ago, from what I remember. I just saw it like on Reddit not too long ago. Your computer is so old that for P2D. I see. I guess it depends on your budget, but R5 3600 isn't too expensive, I guess. That can always be an option. Though I don't know how well optimized P3D is. I imagine it is at least more optimized than FSX. There we go. Altitude, heading, all that fun stuff is now set. You can now just sit back and relax. Hello, channel hacked. Oh, am I hacked? I'm sorry. I guess that's the end of all my music videos and stuff. And thank you, by the way. Thank you, thank you. And by the way, guys, I actually have a like trip report-ish thing coming out pretty soon. Hopefully it'll be out by Wednesday. I've been struggling to like get things done on time recently. You designed your own Cessna 172 livery for the X-Plane? Nice. Do you base it off of a real livery, or did you like have a custom thing? I assume you didn't just spray paint your name over it or something. Definitely more, so P3D is definitely more optimized than FSX, I see. I guess I can only assume it'll run better for mine. It's just because I have an R5 3600. But who knows, maybe it'll run worse. Depends what kind of add-ons I get as well. And we'll just see how FS 2020 runs. Hopefully it does better. Ah, okay. I see you, David. FYI, I'm not like too much of a computer guy, so a lot of times I don't even understand the specs that I'm reading. Oh, I see. So you created... Oh, I see. Okay. Is that a fictional livery? I assume that has to be a fictional livery then. Or maybe you guys have like a pretty big plane club. Maybe you guys have custom liveries on your real planes. And here I am painting like Alaska liveries on Corsairs and whatnots. Sounds about right. Okay, good to know I'm not hacked. Hello, Flesh. Oh, I see. So they are real liveries then. That's really cool. What kind of, like, I guess there's like a lot of different liveries on planes. What kind of club is that? So you made a current Delta livery on a 727-200. Nice. Did you put that in Simviation? If you did, I may have seen it. And it looks pretty nice. Okay, how far away are we from everything? Okay, we're getting there. We're about like the fourth or third of the way there. I'm going to turn my heading a little bit to the left, because I believe... we're straying a little bit off to the right. Oh, yeesh. Power went out. Yeah, that, autosave is a lifesaver. Maybe I can search it up actually. Let me take a look. Yep, sorry, that sound's gonna go away, but that's alright. P3D. Is it this thing right here? Because I've seen this one. Oh, I see. If it's freeware, there's no autosave. Are you using like a special program for painting your liveries? I just use like Paint really. A version, like a hyped up version of Paint. It's actually called this program called ACD that I use. It is a program that's somewhere in between Paint and like actual like professional Photoshop. I've used that to paint some liveries, and if you, I believe if you search my name up like on Symbiation or something, you might actually run into some of my old liveries I painted. Okay, how's our plane doing? No, not weather. Paint and GIMP, I see. Oh, I see. Photo P. You have Photoshop, but you don't know how to use it. I have GIMP and I don't know how to use it. Oh, I see. GIMP is free. Maybe you can try GIMP, but it does take a billion years to learn. And I do not have a billion years, unfortunately. That's why I haven't learned to use GIMP. I hear it's very powerful, though. Once you master it, you can do anything, really. GIMP make it to where I can see my texture. I see. Let me show you what kind of program I use. Or let me see. I'll just show you a screenshot of what it is. Oh no, it's not on the internet. Never mind. Maybe it's out of production. That's alright. But I use this program called ACD. I believe it came from like one of my old digital cameras. Still works to this day, so I use it. It's just like, the reason why I use it is because like it's easy enough to use. It's very straightforward. And it's hard to like get confused about like why something is doing something. That's the problem with modern day programs now, right? It's like we click something, it doesn't work, and we don't know why. ACD is so straightforward that one can never really get lost. It's kind of a basic program, but you know, it works. Yeah, what year is this flight, by the way? FYI, apparently from the guys who made this livery is from 1986. Oh, there we go. So that's why David was able to you're able to like excel in GIMP, because you actually know that stuff. I have not taken any like graphics course. The closest I ever got to was taking an AutoCAD course, but that's just for civil engineering stuff really. This is a TDS 727-200 with, I believe, the old JTAD-7s. At least I believe so. I installed the -7 sounds on it. The alternative is a -17 for the sounds. But I believe for that the engines would look a little different. And not to mention that this plane was not originally an advanced version, so it probably had the ancient -7s instead. That's my guess. If this flight was in 1986, then you would be 0 years old. I would be negative years old. I would be negative for sure. Yeah, some people just have the natural talent to like pick stuff up pretty quickly. I don't. Well, I don't know. It depends what I pick up. With Photoshop, maybe not so much, but maybe with like 3D modeling, I can sort of pick it up. #21 Air. Where is that airline? (737-200) has the same engines? Sounds about right. I assume you're talking about the... Oh no. Does it? It has a JTAD for sure, but I do not recall what version they have. And they have that like tail cone extension, making it slightly quieter and making sure that the wing doesn't fall apart. Apparently, part of the reason why they extended the engine tail cone thing is because there's some vibration issues. But I think that's like a story for the 737-100 actually. By the time they got to the 200, they figured it out. But the 737-100, apparently it has some flutter issues. And originally I think their solution was to put depleted uranium in the wing. It's kind of the same idea with what they did with the 747. The 747 also used depleted uranium. But I think after a while, they realized the problem hasn't been fixed and decided to actually modify the engine itself. Don't take my word for it though. I may have remembered it wrong. Oh, 21 Air is... Oh, it was that same airline that had one of their 767 catch fire. That's the one, right? Make more planes for Southwest. Oh, you're doing a Southwest fleet, I see. Slight echo from the bottle. So they're trying to become a cargo airline, I guess. Or, sorry, they are a cargo airline. Wait, hold on. I think I'm thinking this wrong. 21 Air is... I have to actually look at a picture of it to see for sure. Oh, yeah. Now I recall. It's that airline where its livery is always like kind of fading. "21 Air" talking about. Oh yikes, my CPU is still overheating. Am I still on course? Sort of. I need to turn back slightly. Turn back to the right. Just 1 degree. Oh, I gotcha. Southwest Fleet. I assume you've done old liveries as well, right? The old livery. Desert, whatever they called it in livery. And of course the Canyon Blue one, of course. We'll see Okinawa popping up pretty soon. Ba-doop. I do recall, I just want to point out that these engines look like a face. Just slightly. 2 eyes and a little happy little mouth right here. Spewing. Oh, this lovely contrail. Oh, I see. A new livery on the 200. So I guess, like, just painting fictional liveries. Or, I don't know, maybe Southwest will buy a 727 in the 21st century. You might just have enough money to do that. Here's a question. Would it attract more customers to fly on an airline if they fly an ancient plane around just to try and, like, if they fly an ancient plane around as a surprise for random flights and random passengers, would it actually give that airline more attention? Like, for example, if Southwest decide to buy just one 727 and then fly it randomly around the country. I think some av geeks, us av geeks would love it. Not sure about the public though. Oh, my tea's almost out. And we still have to fly to Taipei. There is a modern Eastern airline, yes. I believe they don't have ancient planes, but they do have the ancient livery. I believe they're trying to become a normal airline now, right? Yeah, just like that. 777s and 76s. I'm curious if a 727 could have lasted into the 21st century though, because those engines are pretty ancient. They'll probably have to re-engine them or something. What could they slap on? I'm curious. Because I don't think a CFM 56 could work real well with that, that tail position. That'll be kind of wonky though. You know what that reminds me of? Apparently the B-52 re-engine program is underway, and Rolls-Royce is in the mix now. I'm curious if well, first of all, what engine they're going to present to the program, and second of all, whether the U.S. military would be happy with a foreign engine supplier. I'm also curious, what kind of engines can they actually put on? What engines to put on that actually sound like something that should belong on a military plane? Because those pods on the B-52 are kind of small. If they slap an engine on there, if they need to fit an engine on there, maybe they'll have what were those engines on those CRJ 700s and E175s. Is this the I don't know what they're called. But basically, if they're going to put an engine on a B-52, it's going to end up sounding like a regional jet. And that I find very fascinating. Oh, see you around, the aviation guy. See you around soon. I think what would be best with B-52 though, just my personal opinion, just turn it into a 4-engine plane. All they need to do is just slap on 4 Pratt & Whitney 1000 Gs and they're set. It'll be incredibly efficient, super quiet, and sound super modern. It'll sound like an A320 though, but it'll be nice. An upgraded 727-200. Would they need an upgraded wing as well? Because I do not believe these are supercritical airfoils, are they? I imagine they'll probably have to redo the wing a bit, and then the engines. Although to be fair, I think the 200 Advance is sort of an upgraded version of the 727. Not sure if that counts or not. Oh well. I mean, the 727 had a good run. But I see it was bound to be replaced by 737 series. Apparently one can just what do you call it? You can just stretch a 737 on and on until it basically looks like a 707 with 2 engines. How far away are we from now? We're still sort of on course. And we're about 75% of the way there. We're going to have to start descending soon, actually. And I believe we don't actually have... We only have 1 runway at Okinawa. Nowadays it actually has 2. They built a coral runway recently, kind of like what Honolulu has. But that's okay. We're flying a plane from 1986, so they did not have that back in that time. Did we agree that we were flying like in 1986? What year do we agree upon? Uh-oh, did my chat screw up? I didn't know, but apparently I can have a chat that's too short. Yep. I think quad jets are pretty much history by now. They'll stick around a little longer with cargo airlines, but that's about it. Question mark? Why did it say oops? No, I was curious if the check was frozen or not. It happens from time to time. It like fixes itself once I actually like type something in there. My face is off camera. Whoops. Aye. Can't scoot in anymore. It would be interesting to see an A340 conversion. I think though the 777 kind of quashed that idea though. 777F. Where's the APU on this jet? I have no idea. That's a good question. If somebody wants to search that up, where's an APU on the 727? I believe it's like right under the center engine, isn't it? I think that's the case for the DC-10 and MD-11, is that right? Let's take a look. APU, 727 APU. Wait, what? It's in the belly? Oh, that's interesting. 727's APU is in the belly. That I never knew. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, Air Hong Kong got the first A330 conversion. I did not know that. Let me take a look. Don't go anywhere. I'm listening. Air Hong Kong A330. Oh yeah, looks about right. You know what's beautiful about the A330 conversion? The 300 actually. It does not have that weird little bubble underneath the nose. Apparently the nose gear actually is long enough for the 300. Long enough so that it's got a level platform or something. That's the whole reason why they put that bubble on the A330-200F. Because apparently the nose down attitude is a little too much for the cargo to handle. What phone do I have? I have a Pixel 3a. A330, A380 was sort of like an MD-12 thing. And I believe like they, if I remember, the MD-12 actually came out during like the early 1990s. Unfortunately, like by the time they came out with that concept, they already just didn't have enough money to do any of that. And so Airbus kind of went ahead and did their own. The 200 freighter, yeah, that nose bubble thing kind of messes everything up. Hello, Malaz Gaming. If you use my video, do you need to give me credit? So I guess the deal is, yes, in a way. You can either put like my channel name and stuff in your video description or in the video itself. Either way is fine. As long as it's in there somehow. Oh crap, is that the island already? Did I just... Yes, I think that is. Okay, we need to start descending quick. Altitude hold off. Get back in the virtual cockpit. Oh, yeah. That's one caveat. If it's fair use, then you technically... Well... Yeah, I don't think you need to give credit if it's fair use. And for fair use, there's like a... Well, you can search up what fair use is, I guess. There are some scenarios where you can use videos without giving credit. Actually, no, I think you still have to, right? I'll need to take a look, because I never actually... When I'm using people's videos, I give credit regardless. I think it's, like, even if it's not required to give credit, I think there's, like, a bit of, like, an honor system going on. You know? But in any case, yeah, if it's fair use, go ahead and take a look at the conditions for that. So Wendover Productions, yeah, he uses my videos from time to time. Not quite as often nowadays, because he's actually switched over to like using proper HD footage. But in the earlier days, yeah, you can see my videos around all the time. Do I have videos about Turkish Airlines? I do not. Actually, no. I have one Turkish airline videos from a very long time ago at LAX. So there's that. But that's the only Turkish airline videos I have, I believe. I believe it's a video of a 777-300ER. Oh, a Skyship's a Russian guy. I see. There are a few channels that's been using my clips a lot. Simply Flying is also using a lot of mine. And I remember seeing one video on Sam Chewy's channel. Sam Chewy or Chui? He used like the what'd you call it? That DC-8 video that I took a few years back. Samaritan's Purse or something. It was during all the COVID stuff, and he was looking for free footage to use. And yep, there I was with my free footage. Unfortunately, like, he actually sent me an email asking like if he had used the video, and I did not see that email for a while, so that was unfortunate. But he used it anyways because he probably figured out that it was Creative Commons, so it was free to use. And as long as he gave credit, he's doing it properly, and that's alright. That's exactly how my videos are supposed to be used, by the way. Okay, I think I need to descend way more quickly than this. Spoilers, about 60%. Okay. Let me turn to a better heading, because I believe we're trying to approach from the north side, and if we just fly straight, we're just gonna end up on the airport south side. Oh, thank you, my lass. Yeah, it's I guess the unfortunate thing is, like, there's so many aviation channels out there, but so many people are like pretty anal about people using their clips and stuff. Some people actually charge for clips. Some people... Oh, dang, I see Naha right in front of me already. Okay. In any case, yeah, so many people are anal about like not using their video clips and whatnot. And as a person who's been through the process of like trying to find video clips and asking permission and all that, it can get pretty annoying, let's just say. So I just figured, you know, some people out there may not have the privilege to like be at Portland Airport or be able to film planes on a regular basis. I decided to just give those people a break. Just have like a go-to place for them to actually find video clips that are not a hassle to obtain. Of course, I'm not a complete saint though. I still ask people to like give me credit. Other than that, like, people don't need to ask me whether they need to use it or not. Life is already hard enough. Let's not make people's lives harder. Oh yeah, Sam Chewy put the whole clip in there, I believe. That's right. And that's okay, because that's how they're supposed to be used. Oh, yeah, we're descending pretty well. 3,000 feet per minute. With those spoilers deployed. Let me just verify that is actually Naha. Yep, that is definitely Naha. That's where we're supposed to go. That thing over there. Check out that default scenery. That's beautiful. It's okay though, because I am happy to tell you guys that I got a custom scenery for Taipei Taoyuan Airport. Okay, let me turn off the... Actually, no, I'll keep the heading indicator. Heading hold on for now. 300, heading. Okay, I think I can start to slow down my descent. Right now we're through 7,000 feet now. Whoa, what the heck? Okay, I was just making sure the plane isn't gonna run into some bank angle problems. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't be flying this fast at at 7,000 or 6,000 feet. I'm still at 300 knots. Sorry, I'm switching back and forth between the map and whatnot. What's the runway heading that we're supposed to be going on? So 18 is where we're landing. So we need to turn to heading 360. There we go, 360. Get that virtual cockpit back in. Man, I really need to slow this down. Whoops, we're climbing. Sorry. I'm already at idle, by the way, but I'm still at a relatively high airspeed. Okay, I believe I can just fly manual now. We're low enough and we don't, we can see the airport. Flaps 1. I do not know the flap blowout speed for these things though. I hope I'm not screwing up the plane too much. I missed a whole bunch of comments, by the way. Whoops. Chemic Washington, nice. Oh, you're in Turkey? I thought I guess Ataturk isn't really an airport anymore, is it? But I remember Ataturk had a really good spot. But that's about it. And the airport got closed before I ever got there, so that's a shame. Yeah, there you go. You guys are talking about Ataturk. Oh yeah, like yeah, there are people who contact like me about like using clips and stuff, and I don't see them. To be fair, I was one of those people at a certain point. I was trying to make a tribute video to Malaysia Airlines after they had like 2 accidents in a row, and I wanted to make like a tribute music video to them. And I asked a whole bunch of people, and only about a quarter of them replied. Some of them asked for money. Others were nice enough to say yes, you can use it for free. But other people, not so much. So I canceled the project. Whoops, we're kind of low, are we? Yeah, don't mind about the yoke like moving around like that. I think my calibration is slightly out of whack. I'm not actually moving the yoke like that. I'm keeping it more or less steady. Okay, let's see. Landing configuration. Spoilers are armed this time. Flaps are coming in pretty soon. I think the plane is nicely trimmed out now. Did your chat freeze? Time to click refresh. RIP. Of course I can't see the runway with this A pillar in the way. Maybe I'm just going to maintain an altitude real quick so that I actually arrive on my glide slope correctly. And turn off heading hold, I don't need that. Oh, there we go. I see the PAPI lights just lined up perfectly right now. Now we just need to turn back towards the center line. Now I need to actually be careful this time because we are facing a direct headwind. That means we are getting all that 20 knots of wind shear, and I should probably not use 30 flaps this time, probably 25 or something. Landing gear down. Trim it out slightly. Once again, I can't really see the comments right now. I know you guys are busy in there. I'm a little bit occupied. What's my flap setting now? I think I'm at 20 or 25 now. I think I'll keep it that way. Just so that we have a little bit of leeway if we need to go around. Whoops. Whoa, dear. Balloon. Come on. Get down. There we go. Oh wow, I thought we were down. If you're wondering about that clicking noise, that's the brakes. Okay, so that was a pretty big jump after touchdown. I think the initial touchdown was actually very soft, but then I just floated right back up. That's alright. We landed. There we go. Oh wow, that's barely any flaps we used. That's alright. I think that's actually 20 degrees, isn't it? Let me take a look. Yeah, I think that's 20 degrees of flaps. Because I don't think it actually hit the... Yeah, it didn't even hit the 25 mark. So we just landed with 20 degrees. It's alright though. Oh, let's go back a little further. What is it? Let's just do 111. Don't mind the fact that the lights are a little bit off. Also, I probably should have, like, landed, or rather approached a little bit nose down. Boing, boing. And then it fell way off the center line. Hold on, I think the thrust reverser remained deployed. I think my thrust reversers remained deployed while I was still in the air. Let's take a look at that again. Why is it beeping? That's my CPU overheating. No worries about that. It's probably a little bit annoying though. Ooh, that was almost a touchdown. Just plop plop. Oh. And then I retracted the spoilers early because I turned off the thrust reverser early. Okay, now let's see the vertical speed now. Back to 111. By the way, whenever I'm microwaving food and it's supposed to be like for 1 minute, I usually just press 111. It was so close to being a butter, yes. Ooh, man. Okay, that was about 400 feet per minute. And then 400 feet per minute again for a second touchdown. At least the plane is in one piece. Yeah, I need to change my fan speed. That's the problem. Right now my fan speed gradient is way too steep. Talk about the CPU, by the way. In case people are wondering. Okay, so let's see how much fuel we have remaining. 40%. Let's put that to 60%. And then have this at 10. Yeah, I now have to remember to use 30 degrees of flaps next time. That will be the goal. That will be ideal. I have a R5 3600. That would be my CPU. It's just that FSX is terribly optimized. I haven't bothered to modify it so that it runs on more than one core. But once I do that, the overheating problem should subside. Oh, is that a kink in the taxiway? I have to turn right after this, I see. It's so quiet in the cockpit. I believe the real plane is a little bit louder. Anyways, here we are at Naha. This is our last Japanese airport we're going to be at. Next up is going to be Taipei. How do I get to run on more than one core? I do not remember, but there was a tutorial online for it. I think it's to mess around with the FSX CFG or something. Can I just turn this way and then turn back to the right? Yes. Okay. I do not have my airport charts open, so I wouldn't know. Are we gonna stop in Macau? Maybe. We'll see. We are stopping in Hong Kong, that's for sure. It's kind of a must. You know, one of the interesting things is that when I tell most people like I'm half Macanese or half Macau basically, people don't really know what it is. But when I bring it up like in the aviation groups, people tend to know what Macau is. I guess it's just because of its unique approach and whatnot. What are you using to fly the plane? I am using this joystick here. I think it's Logitech Freedom 2.4. It's an ancient thing. I don't think it's sold anymore. But there are there are plenty of descendants of this joystick. Alright, here we go. I think we can just keep it at 20 degrees of flaps. No problem. The aviation community is more based than normal people. Am I part Portuguese? I guess you can call it that way. Technically that means I'm part Portuguese, part British. Did I say port or part? Part British. I'm used to saying port because airport. Okay, let's actually figure out what heading we're supposed to go after this. I was just about to take off, but then I realized I should look on the map. Okay. About 260, 265 maybe heading. Yeah, looks about right. So I'll just do an immediate right turn after departure. There we go. Maybe you guys should hear what the engines sound like during spool up. I'll just hold the brakes. Nice. So climb gear up and an immediate right turn. Alright. 260. Let's just do 260 for now. Whoops, probably shouldn't climb that aggressively. Flaps 15. That's a beautiful angle right there. About 260 right here. Let me go into my 2D cockpit, put in the appropriate heading, and then turn that on. Not the altitude hold, heading hold. There we go. Whoops, and then turn that back over to virtual. There we go. And we should be facing the right heading now. Let me take a look at the map. Oh, nope. A little more. I guess it should be 265 then. Yeah, we av geeks have better geographical skills. That is true. I have noticed that when I was growing up. I'm okay with like pointing out where places are on the map. And people always seem to be kind of mystified about it for some reason. Alright. Oops, sorry. You know, one thing interesting about all this COVID stuff, they tell you not to touch your mouth. I'm like anal about all this, like trying to stay healthy and stuff, and I still touch my mouth. It's like something I just can't change. I think my chair is going down. My office chair is like leaking or something, so it kind of just shrinks after like 10 minutes or something, slowly. Where is Vienna? Ah. I guess I would know where Vienna is, but I would not. Oh, there's a fly in my face. I'm trying to catch it. I would not know exactly where to point on it on a map. That's the issue. Like if somebody just gave me a blank map, I don't think I can point out where Vienna is. I can point out where London is though. Maybe Paris. If I have like some like reference point, like a river or something, I might be able to point it out. Okay, so we're at 17,000 feet now. I can do an airspeed hold at 300 knots. Slow down the ascending rate just for now, so that I can get that airspeed turned on. There we go. And now I can just go back to climbing, adjusting the trim and climbing. We should be on heading now, right? No, we're not. Okay. So I guess we do need to fly at 270. Okay, let's not climb that aggressively. That's the last of my tea. Oh yeah, history is something else that aviation people tend to be good at. I think it's because, like, in order to remember these planes, we also tend to remember the history of them. And that relates to the history of the world, I guess. Okay, am I on the right heading this time? Sort of. We'll wait a little bit longer just to see whether we cross back onto our proper flight path. I'm still messing with the trim, by the way. Trying to get this thing dialed in. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We aviation guys just, flexing. Oh yeah, that's exactly right. Like, the political world shapes the aviation industry a lot. I mean, the whole deal of whether Concorde was successful or not was a lot down to politics. How the, I guess you can call the A300 series was also down to politics. 747, well, I guess Pan Am in general went belly up because of a lot of politics. So yeah, politics is a big deal in aviation, whether we like it or not. I remember writing one of my papers, not an actual paper, but like an assignment about the CAB and the deregulation of the airlines back in the 1970s. And I got a really good grade out of it. Apparently it was an eye-opening experience for the professor. I think we'll be arresting our climb at about 30,000 as usual. Yep. Oh yeah, politics in airspaces. There you go, Diego. And hello and welcome. Organized, responsible, and cool. Or at least for on the face of it, we'll say. Things might get a little bit more hairy, like when we actually get into the dirty business of how airlines work. Some airlines work, rather. I'm sure some of them are good and some of them a little bit more questionable. Are we flying at the right heading this time? Yes, we're finally converging back onto our flight path. We're a little bit below our proper airspeed. But that's okay. We're not stalling or anything. I'll slow down the ascending really quickly, just so that the airspeed can catch up. There we go. Airspeed's catching back up now. We'll climb to 32,000. How about that? Because we're passing 31 at the moment. Okay. Once we hit 32,000, I'll just turn on that altitude hold. Just descend a little bit, just to fall back to 32. There we go. And that should level off at 32,000. Or close enough to it. You don't have to be perfect. And probably turn off like the wing landing lights. That's okay. Oh, and by the way, about like politics and aviation, let's not mention the fact that the development of airports is completely dependent on the development of cities and politics in the city. Something I'd be interested about is like knowing the development behind like Portland Airport, why they chose the location that they did, and all the weird stories behind it, all the kerfuffles. There's gotta be some. I mean, like, I've been reading about the history of, like, for example, Kai-Tak, and it was never a straight line for them. It was all about politics, money, people not wanting an airport to be built here and there, as well as international politics. Big countries not getting along and trying to mess around with the budget of the new airport, all that good stuff. So I'd be curious about the development of Portland Airport. Maybe I can do a video about that eventually, if I learn enough about it. I'm sure there are really interesting, like, airport stories around America. You can just pick one off once in a while. Oh yes, I heard PDX is now the second. That is unacceptable. I think Portland is ruined because of it. Not because of the protest, but because of that. Hey, just saying, once we got the Concourse E extension, we'll see about the rating next year, okay? How about that? Concourse E extension just opened, and maybe we'll get a better rating. Just maybe. Indianapolis got a new terminal. That's kind of why. They have a brand new terminal, brand spanking new. I'm sure, like, they probably cranked up their service a little bit as well. I'd be curious what's the reason why Indianapolis became number one. Oh yeah, here's one thing. Maybe does Indianapolis have good spotting locations? And yes, PDX spotting locations have kind of like dropped off a little bit. The view from the parking garage, if you're looking on the north runway, you get like incremental light posts in the way, all the way down from like the beginning of runway 28 right all the way to the threshold of 10 left. It's all just light poles all the way. And for the south runway, it's just a big building in the way now. There's only like a small window of the runway you can still see. And that is why Marine Drive is a superior spot. Oh right, Minneapolis should be a Delta hub. Do they store it there though? Hopefully we can go to the new building, hopefully. From what I heard, it's supposed to be like a new rental facility. And I have a little bit of a doubt on whether we can spot in those locations. But hopefully we can. I don't want to be a wet town. Hopefully we can. Yeah, if we can't spot there, it's going to be bye-bye for the south runway. Of course, with the exception of the new cell phone lot, that's still going to be there. And on the other end, we still have the Marine Drive bike path, which if you go far enough to the west, you'll run into the place I'm talking about. And I'm sure you've probably been there too. I recall seeing some videos. MSP is just retrofitting everything. Nice. Are they building a new terminal? I know Portland is gonna be tearing down the old core terminal and replacing it with something new. It's supposed to begin construction like in 2021, if I remember correctly. That'd be beautiful, hopefully. Two official spotting areas. Nice. I think at PDX the only official spotting area is the parking garage. I'm not sure what they think about it now though. Our Marine Drive, fortunately, is not run by Port of Portland. It's not part of airport property. So that means, like, the Portland Airport Police can't really do anything about us. It's outside their jurisdiction. As long as you're not on the south side of Marine Drive. If you're, like, romping in the grass, like where the old midfield spotting area is, they'll kick us out. But if you're on the bike path, they can do anything about it. All that flat area to the east end of the south runway, be a great place for a spotting deck or something. Is that like where Ameriflight used to be? Like right outside the Ameriflight hangar? I think it's now owned by Bonneville Power now. Oh, actually, are you talking about just that field? Like right underneath the flight path of 28 right? 28 left, sorry. Oh, I see. You guys actually have to like stay in hotels and stuff. That's right. Defund the airport police. Just take away the fences. There you go. Just be like the old days, where people can romp around on the field if they want. I'm sure nothing terrible would happen. You don't know how the autopilot works as well. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I think we got it sort of figured out. At least, like, we know how to hold the heading, airspeed, and altitude. That's really all that matters. Now, speaking of which, I need to double check to make sure we're crossing through the heading. We're kind of halfway there, though. Let me just do 2 ticks to the left. Correct the heading. That should be fine. Yeah. The boundary should be significantly smaller. Yeah. Technically, like, the fences could be right up to the runway, I guess. I do know that Portland Airport's trying to get more land down to the south, because eventually they want to build a 3rd runway. It's gonna be like where the Boeing paint hangars right now. They're gonna have to demolish that at some point if they want to build a 3rd runway. I'm not sure if they still plan to do that, but I remember seeing a report back in 2008. They talked about the plan of acquiring land to build a new runway. But it seems like Portland's doing just fine with 2 runways. 3 technically, but 2 that are often in use. And sometimes Portland can do just fine with 1 runway, really. Us Portland spotters should come to Minneapolis. That is, do we need to quarantine for 2 weeks once we get there, though? We are sort of coming from a hotspot after all. Or I don't know how you guys are doing with all the pandemic stuff. Maybe you guys don't have to quarantine. It would be a massive political debate. Yes, the 3rd runway would be a political debate of sorts. Ones that we may have never seen. Am I of Japanese descent? Unfortunately not. For some reason though, people do ask if I'm Japanese or something. It's kind of got pale skin, so... Okay, where are we now? Okay. We're about halfway. We're a little... yeah, we're about halfway. Oh, 3 to 4%... 3 to 5%, sorry, I can't read. How many are infected now? I guess I can just pull up the numbers right over here. Let me take a look. Where did Oregon go? Oh, so we have 16,000 at the moment. That's not for the Portland Metro, but we can somewhat assume a large portion of that number is. Minnesota has 50,000. I don't know how many of them are in Minneapolis or not. Yeah, I don't think we really need another runway. Now the question is though, if one of our runway closes, would there be a problem? Well, right now there isn't much of a problem. And it hasn't been the last time one of our runways was closed. Seems like we operate just fine with one runway. And what's funny is that I think our passenger statistic is up to 20 million now, at least from last year. And some airports can run with even more passengers with only one runway. PDX passenger stats. How many people went through PDX in 2019? 19.9 million. So we're almost at 20 million. Oh, 20,000. That would be sad. Okay. We're sort of on course. We'll just keep it as it is. Yeah. Let's just remember that Kai-Tak was able to operate with one runway and only one runway with 30 million passengers. Almost 30 million, 29 and a half. Although to be fair, they usually use heavies, so a little bit different thing. But Gatwick, I think, has a lot more passengers, and they use only one runway. How much is Gatwick going through? You guys have 40 millions. Just flexing, you know. Minneapolis is far more busy for sure, yeah. You guys definitely need more than one runway. Oh yeah, San Diego Airport only has one. And it has 25 million passengers. But I think the busiest runway at the moment is Mumbai, I think. Because they usually use only one runway during operations, is that right? And they have 45 million passengers a year. Hello, that aviation guy. You're back. Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate for Portland, because all the good traffic just goes to, like, Seattle or San Francisco, and we're just stuck in the no man's land of not having a lot of passenger traffic. That's okay. Life happens. Wait, Minneapolis used to be a Northwest hub, wasn't it? Or was it a Delta hub all along? That sound... Oh, that's the sound of my CPU overheating. I need to turn off that sound. Or I just need my computer to, like my CPU to run not my CPU, my FSX to run on multiple cores. I have to manually set that somehow. We'll eventually get there, one day. Well, one day we'll get our Delta Asia hub back. One day we'll get those MD-11s again. Oh yeah. We used to even have flights to Taipei. I'm not sure how they made money, but somehow they did. Have they changed over to Haneda now? Yeah, FSX is not very optimized, so I think it's just trying to run on one core, one or two cores. I forgot. I have 1 billion cores in my CPU, so technically it should do fine once I mess around with the settings. Technically, we'll see. The Asia Delta hub was like lifesaver for us. It was expensive to fly with Delta at the time, but that's, you know, Delta is a little bit less expensive now. I would love it if they can fly back to Taipei or something. Or to Hong Kong, that would be ideal. Hello. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. But you said hi, so hello. Welcome. My apologies. I do prefer Haneda, yes, that is very true. It's way closer to the city, and in many ways is newer. At least the international terminal is newer. I too wish I do not have to drive like for an hour and a half to get to the airport. Yeah. Yeah, my CPU is having trouble. It's getting heavily tortured. Oh yeah, they dropped the Hong Kong route for sure. Hong Kong Delta used to at least have 1 or 2 flights to Hong Kong. Now it's 0. After like all the protests that exploded in Hong Kong, like Delta dropped everything. Also because like Hong Kong fell into a recession after that, or during that rather. And that's a shame, because I fly Delta all the time, and now I can't go to Hong Kong with Delta. I heard a rumor we're getting Incheon again? That'll be nice. From Delta, or are we getting that from, like, Korean Air or Asiana? Like, although Jin Air would be cool, you know. I'd love to fly 777 there. Oh, whoa, that's a really big air pocket. I hope you guys got your seatbelts fastened. What cooler am I using? I don't know what fan is that called. It is not water cooled for sure. Let me see if I got a seatbelt sign on. Oh yeah, everything's on. Cool. Oh, I think we're starting to reach Taipei now. I can see land. And we're a little bit drifting off course. Okay, let's turn back to a proper heading. Just 1 degree to the left. Cockpit. There we go. Nice. Yeah, it's a stock fan. So it's trying its hardest. I also think the fan settings have been a little bit messed up. It has a weird spool up temperature range, whatever you call that thing. Like that graph with like fan speed RPM with temperature. It's supposed to regulate what RPM the fan is supposed to go on at what temperature, but it's out of whack. I'll need to fix that at some point. Just been too busy during the weekdays of work. Oh, another air pocket. Look at that. And that's why we keep our seatbelts fastened during flight, because you don't know what's going to hit. Oh, yeah, I've taken that Seattle to Hong Kong flight before. That was pretty useful. I don't want to switch planes over in Tokyo and then hop on the next one. It's always a pain. Although from the Tokyo to Hong Kong flight, Delta used to fly the 777, so that was cool. But they don't even have that anymore, so rest in peace. Oh my gosh, the rudder is still screwed up. Come on, there we go. Oh, so it might be Korean Air, but American bought out so many slots. Here's the thing though, if American Airlines is like not doing well, maybe they'll give up their spots. You know, if they go into bankruptcy, they might have to give something up. Fan curve, that's what it's called, yes. Oh, get a new thermal paste? Maybe. I'll try fixing like FSX first, and then we'll see how it works out. Because I don't recall the CPU overheating before I reinstalled FSX. With the old FSX setup, I actually have the game slightly optimized to run on multiple cores. But recently I reinstalled everything, and now it's not optimized. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, Portland loves those Sun Country routes. Any kind of new planes is good. It's like we got a small Sun Country hub now. Hello David, welcome back. Welcome. That would be cool. And I hope they carry it out. They follow through, because I don't think British Airways is doing their London flight now. I'm not sure if they canceled it completely, but I heard they're definitely not starting until later. They've canceled their original September startup time. What do you call it? Inaugural flight, that is. They moved their inaugural flight to I don't know when. Oh, and you're back, Diego. Welcome back. Okay, what was I supposed to do? I think I'm supposed to start descending. Oops, that's a little too fast of a descent rate. Let's fix that real quick. $3,000 feet per minute should be a good descent rate. Huh, interesting. Oh, so British also canceled to Minneapolis as well? Or did they never agree to? Yeah, that's kind of interesting if you guys don't get a British flight. Because you guys probably deserve it more than we do. Their power, size, size, power, technology. I'm reading backwards, but yes. They're cool stuff, you know? Boy, I'm starting to get hungry now. Those terminal mochis aren't doing its thing. So we are going to be approaching Taipei soon. One of the great things about Taipei, it actually has an ILS for runways 2-3 left and right, and that's what we're going to be using today. Maybe I'll do 2-3 right. Oh, Virgin Atlantic was planning to do that. Yeah, hope they're still thinking about it. They might be a little preoccupied with some financing issues. Hello, GOFS Aero 001, and welcome. You're just joining us at the end of our flight. Descending through 23,000 feet. Bye already? Alright. Hello, plane spotter. Welcome. Ugh. Originally I was thinking of landing at Taipei Songshan Airport, but I couldn't get the scenery for it. Oh well. I only have scenery sort of Chiang Kai-shek Airport, or Taoyuan Airport rather. So that's my only option. Rest in peace. You're very bored. Well, I'm sorry. There's nothing else. There's nothing that can be done. You came to this video, and you're still bored? I assume you just ran across this on YouTube, right? This is... maybe came out in the YouTube algorithm. Aer Lingus cancelled? Why that? That's weird. You know, something about Aer Lingus though. I'm curious how they managed to get their long hauls to work with that short runway at Dublin. It's like one of the shortest runway for like a hub international airport. What is it? It's not even 9,000 feet. I don't know. That's just an observation. Okay, I better start slowing down because we're going to pass through 10,000. Now every time we pass through 10,000, we're going at like 300 knots. Alright. Maybe I should just descend slowly instead of descending at 3,000 feet per minute. Let me check out the map real quick. Okay. Oh geez, we really need to descend quickly now. Somebody say something. PDX, do I know if, do I know the autopilot? I sort of got it to work now, but I can only hold heading, altitude, and throttle. Or speed, rather. It's an auto throttle though, but I can't really dial in the airspeed. I need to actually manually go up the proper speed and then just click hold. That's alright though, it's an old plane. I hope I make a butter landing. We'll see about that. We're trying to land with 20 knots of crosswind. Or not crosswind, wind shear, which is even worse. Let me dial in the ILS. I'm trying to land on 23 right, and that's going to be 109.3. Let me just crank up the spoilers. I think we're gonna have to do a 360 as usual though. I am flying a 727, yes. 727-200 by TDS. Am I working on a music video? Not at the moment. I need to think about what to actually make. Kind of refreshing my mind at the moment. Okay, we're passing through, gonna pass through 7,000 soon. I'm gonna see if I can actually make the runway from this altitude. I see 23 right. But we're pretty high. That's alright. Put out flaps 1. .3D cockpit? Okay, let's get the spoiler back up. 30%. There we go. That's in the arm position. Hopefully the ILS is going to pop into view soon. What camera do I use to record? CX130. And an A6300 that I don't really use often. Maybe I should just turn off the autopilot. Gone off the center line of the runway a little. Gonna have to fix that. There we go. Intercepted the localizer. Or the glide slope. And naturally, of course, the glide slope does not match the PAPI lights. As with all airports. And we'll do 30 degrees of flaps this time. Everything is armed. Spoilers armed. Whoops, going a little too high. Everything looks good. Alright, get back on the center line, please. And we do have winds coming from the south, which is to our left. So it's going to be a bit of a crosswind landing. Below glide slope. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like confused between the PAPI lights and the actual glide slope. That's alright. Oh no, balloon. Stop it. Stop it. Come on, get down. We have plenty of runway, that's fine. I think I exchanged a lot of runway just to make a softer landing this time. Alright. Well, there we go. We survived. We did not die. Was that 30 degrees of flaps? I think I only did 25. Whoops. Oh well. That's okay. Anyways, let's take a look at our landing. 90, and let's do 60 seconds. Oh, nope. That does not work. Do 90. Just see me struggling in the distance. That's fine. You were making lunch and you just came back to this tomfoolery. How many feet down the runway do we actually land? I'm curious. And once again, to my defense, There is no radio altimeter that points out exactly how far off the runway I am, and there is no altitude call out. Other than that, I have no other defense. But the landing was soft. There's that. Alright, let's take a look at the replay from the cockpit's perspective. I'm curious what the vertical landing speed was. Okay, that was about like 300 feet per minute. I touched down probably like 3,000 feet past the landing marker. Oh well. What game is this called? This is called FSX. One more replay and then we'll taxi to the runway, or taxi to the gateway. Interesting. That is how I'll rate it. It would have made some YouTube views if somebody caught it. But hey, don't worry. This is what people did back in the 1980s, right? People were a little bit more ballsy. They didn't know what go around was. And kind of off the center line as well. Just notice that. It's alright. I'll have to move to another airline. Yes, I might have to move to Cathay. I have Kai-Tak experience, that's why. That's my qualification. Alright, let's get this off the runway. Whoops, that's not a good view to have. There we go. Clean up this plane. MSP or Dublin or yeah, oh Dubai, sorry. I think the next destination should be to Kai-Tak. That would be ideal. We'll see. We're still trying to make it to Moscow after all. No scenery. It's got scenery. In fact, this is a custom scenery. Okay, now where are we trying to go? I think I'll go for the inside taxiway, whatever that thing is called. November 2. November Papa? What is that? Whatever. What's the story behind the scenery? Oh, like why did I actually download this scenery? It's freeware. It's freeware. There's a payware I forgot who made it, that everybody downloads. This scenery though is kind of lost to antiquity. It only includes the airport, and that's it. The payware actually gives you the greater Taipei metro area. But you know me, I don't go for payware stuff. Okay, so there's gates here, but I think I'm gonna park at one of the more realistic gates further down. I downloaded this scenery just yesterday, by the way, and I've only done one test run to see whether it works. It seems like it does just fine. By the way, this scenery is a little bit outdated. I believe Terminal 1 has been remodeled, and it's not recorded in this scenery. Okay. Whoopsie. Falling off of center line. Don't go for payware unless it's Kai-Tak lol. That's right. Yeah, so it's the only airport that matters. Alright. If I remember correctly, they made it so that these jetways are really close to the plane. If I collide with it, that's not my fault. That's just how it is. Yeah. There's a fly in my face again. Trying to make sure I don't crash into the jetway. Can I actually make it? I think I can. I think there's enough height between me and the bridge. There we go. And we didn't hit anything. And we did not crash. I think I'll call that a day. Engines off. And let's see if the door works. Yeah, I think it does. Nice. Well, there we go. Oh yeah, it's got moving trains at this airport too. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. Yeah, whatever. Up there we go. There's a moving train. Yay! High quality content. Alright. Alright everyone. Thanks for joining in as usual. And I think we'll be going to Hong Kong next time. Until then, thanks for joining. And I'll see you guys.